the front of the field is Nathan Hearn in car 1, Owen Kelly in 73. This is a building little rivalry, and first and second in the championship will lead them into turn 1.
And it's starting to get hot between these two at the front. And it really reached a boiling point at Sydney. This is the resumption of hostilities and the first time at Queensland Raceway. Here comes the Turtle Wax Trans Am as we go green here in race number 1.
Kelly immediately trying to get a little bit of side draft from Nathan Hearn. There's contact. Kelly's off, Tim Brooks off. Second and third in the championship. In fact, the championship leader off. And the hometown hero, Nash Morris, as well. Heavy hitters off the road. The C's part for Brody Kostecki. He goes from 5th to 2nd. Nathan Hearn in the Valvoline car has clean air out in front.
And Nash Morris also taking to the outside. That has changes the whole game. Just like that. Less than 300 metres of racing, and it's blown wide apart here in Turtle Wax Trans Am.
That is a massive moment in the context of this championship. We're approaching the business end of the season in Turtle Wax Trans Am. That is huge. Jet Johnson up to 3rd in that Napa Auto Parts car with the famous 17 on the side with an additional 1 in front. Holdsworth up a spot as well. He's 4th. Cody Birch at 5th from outside the top 10, and Benjamin Grice to 6th.
Poor Kyle Girton hung out to dry there through the first of 2 left-handers in the Nouveau Group number 2. He's going to be relieved of another position here because here comes Eden Thornborough in the Sydney Property Care entry. And just like that, Nathan Hearn has nearly 2 seconds to Brody Kostecki. And here comes Heyman in his first run, fancying the move on the more experienced guys just ahead. He stepped out of Aussie racing cars. He's moving to Trans Am and loving his time, albeit after about 40 minutes behind the wheel.
It's pretty bold being a rookie with a fluoro yellow race car though, isn't it? It screams target. There's Kostecki, Boost Mobile sponsorship on car 66. Great start, Jet Johnson avoiding the melee at turn 1. And Holdsworth going with him. I love the surnames in this category too. The cars are great. The racing exciting and often sideways. There's John McCorkindale, really battled with qualifying outside the top 20. There's another driver in the top 10 in the championship, very much out of position. 7th in points coming into the weekend, the driver from Young in Country, New South Wales. But the Dial Before You Did car really battled. So we need to go and unpick what happened at turn 1. It was vice stint. We'll do that in a second, because before we get to that, there's a Camaro pointing the wrong direction at turn 4.
It's John Hollinger in the 23. So he'll spin himself to the tail of the field here. Owen Kelly's back up to 22nd. Let's have a look, Krause, here, what happened here at the start. Looking left-hand side, Tim Brook pulling up to make the move here into turn number 1. Kelly comes across and the 2 make contact. Nash read the play, went out to the gravel to avoid any kind of incident here.
Yeah, unfortunately for Morris, it was probably the wrong way to go. It was the only way he could go though. Out to the grass, and it took the front splitter off his car. Tim Brook inside front locked up into Owen Kelly, and that's probably the damning evidence that race control will look at when they're assessing penalties afterwards. That inside front locked, they'll indicate he didn't have control. This on board with Kelly. Absolutely nothing Owen could do in that incident. He was just turning the car in. He was on the outside of the road, on the outside of Nathan Hearn. Really good recovery. Remarkable that it didn't go deeper. How's the stones getting caught up there? And then this was the moment for John Hollinger in that really cool looking 23 Camaro. Just a little bit of a mid-pack incident further down the field.
Oh, that's Heyman. Oh, it's Heyman off at high speed.
Oh, wow, that's gone a long way off. That is about as far as you can get off the road here at Queensland Raceway, and we have gone safety car as a result. Did it get the fence, or did the gravel do its job? I think it stopped it.
It's just arrested inside there, hopefully. So not the 18th birthday present he was looking for today. The DePrinzio Concreting number 30 is off the track. What a game-changing race this is. Hearn, Kostecki, Johnson, Holdsworth, and Bircher. Race 1 of Trans Am here in Queensland.
Dramatic stuff at the start. We are under the control of the Hyundai safety car with Nathan Hearn and Brody Kostecki 1 and 2. Jack Johnson 3rd. Owen Kelly 18th position. Tim Brook 20th position. They are 1st and 3rd in the Turtle Wax Trans Am Championship standings coming into this round. That is an enormous blow for those two contenders. The safety car will work for them both, though. It compacts the field, and it will give Kelly especially an opportunity to pass some cars and try and drive his way towards the top 10. And remember, where they finish this race is where they start race 2 tomorrow. So it's vital that he gets as much ground now to minimise the damage into Sunday.
It'll take some time to get the number 30 Mustang out of the gravel. High-speed part of the track. We've seen plenty of cars sort of go straight across there and manage to come back on the track, but he's carrying a lot of speed, wasn't he? Well, the Hyundai safety car leads the field around, and probably a good reason. There was a lot going on in the first couple of laps of this race. Some movers in this one, including Chris Pappas. Nick Carroll's up 9 spots, Stubbsy, in this one. Lap 4 of 18.
Real disappointment here at Gary Rogers Motorsport. Barry Rogers is alongside me. When you see a championship leader get speared off at turn 1, I bet that's a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah, it was for Owen. I mean, Brookie got the side of him. You know, he starts. It happens occasionally. We've got Nathan out in front, but the boys were sort of fighting amongst each other. But anyway, it's motor racing. I'm sure Owen with the safety car mid-pack will be exciting to see him come through from here, I think. Well,
that's the thing. You know that with the experience he's got and the timing of this safety car, there's still hope to get some good points.
Yeah, there is. Old boy's head like his. You know, it was a bit of a panic at the start when his door flung open. He had to come in and get that going. He was lucky to get out there. So anyway, I think from here, he'll seek his way forward. So look forward to the restart and see how Kostecki attacks Hearn out in front. We'll see what goes on there.
Him and Nathan Hearn, the teammates, there's been a little banter behind the scenes. Have you had to have a chat to the two boys?
Oh, no, look, that's pretty good, actually, because Nathan being a bit younger, a little bit more mature. Great young fella, though, of course. And then Owen, the old boy's head. There's a bit of mind games going on. And I think Owen, a little bit mature, he might be just getting it, but Nathan's going well.
We love it, mate.
Good on you. Thanks, guys.
We're on board the Fujitsu car of Owen Kelly. He's working out where he is in the field. That's great.
Someone radio through and tell him it's 17th.
Yeah, exactly.
He might think it's 15th or 18th.
Bit of mental arithmetic there. Helped actually by this. So Craig Scatella has rolled into pit lane. He was running 15th. So one free position for Owen Kelly. We saw Owen at the start of the race was late out of pit lane, and the reason was a door latching issue with his car. And you can see they're tiny little half doors on these cars. This is why he is so far down the field. Turn 1, that big rush, the field jammed together. And Tim Brook, third in the championship, into the championship leader with brakes locked. Gee, there was some big evasive stuff going on amidst the smoke, Days of Thunder style, a little bit further back in that field.
Grice went through the smoke at the same time.
Not a shock, let's be honest.
Yeah, just incredible. Good news for Tom Heyman. He returns to the track, albeit a lap down. That was Craig Scatella's best qualifying of the season. And he's back in the pits now, one of the OGs of Trans Am racing here in Australia. So Hearn, Kostecki, Johnson, Holdsworth, Cody Bircher in 5th position, then Grice, Dalton, Barber, Girton, and Jackson Rice. Your top 10, lap 5 here in Queensland.
That's the scene at Queensland Raceway. We're just outside of the city of Ipswich to Brisbane's west. It's a beautiful sight. So too, the fact the lights are off on the Hyundai safety car. And Nathan Hearn will lead the field back to green. What's Brodie Kostecki got? No championship implications. He's not in the season fight. Will that mean the driver of car 1 is a little bit more conservative if he attacks, perhaps? We know Brodie's aggressive. We know he's fast. We know he's got priors in these NASCAR-style race cars from his short track career in the United States. Busy behind. Bit of overlap going on. Race control won't like that too much either. There's the green.
Green flag.
The Mustang leads them down towards turn 1.
So Hearn stacked them up as long as he could there before he whacked the loud skinny pedal on the right-hand side. We go back to racing here and what's been a game-changing affair here in Turtle Wax Trans Am as the cars school around. Oh, that's troubles for Nick Carroll. Had dramas in qualifying. I don't like what's coming out the back. And if that's an engine, that'll be the second one of the weekend. The Hogan Prestige Cars entry slowing and dropping down the field.
Sees a party for Owen Kelly, though. Already a couple of free spots under the safety car. They're on board with what will be the former championship leader, because Nathan Hearn will wrestle the lead back from him, assuming there's not some kind of miracle for this guy a long way down the field at the moment. And he got around the outside there at turn 3 and looking to the inside at 4. There's the braking point. H-pattern 4-speed gearbox in these cars. And that was the car that he just passed, 36. off the road. Busy in the midfield as always. Elliot Barber, he's in the Pioneer DJ car. The All-American Auto Parts entry, the 03 is Ben Grice. It's the fight for 5th, 6th and 7th with Lockie Dalton in front and Kyle Girton just in behind. They
also did an engine change, the Grice team, yesterday, so it's been a busy work area here in the Trans Am pit since yesterday. They qualified this morning in changeable conditions. Some drivers opted to go out on a slick tyre, which didn't pay dividends in the end, as Barber and Grice bump panels through the middle of turn 1 and 2. Grice gets the advantage for now. Barber not interested in just giving up the position lightly. He's got to watch his mirror because here comes Kyle Girton, and suddenly we got 3 cars going 3 wide on the way down. Girton with the better line here to turn 3, a popular passing spot here at Queensland Raceway.
More attitude there than when you got detention at high school, Knowles. That was really busy through turn 2. How's the cars moving around through there? And the little whack from Elliot Barber into the back of Ben Grice as well. Just the, hello, I'm still here. After that good pass for the 03. 2 cars now in pit lane, and Nick Carroll's been able to get his Dodge Challenger back to his crew to go to work and see what's going on. And bloke from Victoria. Kostecki, meanwhile, under pressure from Holdsworth, and Johnson has got in front. So Jet up to 2nd place.
Just watch down that screen, so that happened in between the sectors there. We've got flashing yellows at the end of the main straight from one of our LED boards when the racing continues. Don't panic about the squealing. The tyres are meant to do that. These Hoosier cross-ply tyres are bag tyres, so the cars tend to wiggle and slide across the road like you're driving on a waterbed. As now Owen Kelly is inside the top 10, just climbing the ladder, trying to get back up towards his series rival in Turtle Wax Trans Am.
And the further up the field he gets, the harder it gets to make progress. So 10th now, next target Elliot Barber, then Rice, then Girton, then Grice. So it gets really tough. It might be easier though. That was Rice we were just talking about.
It's almost like an episode of Show Us Your Best Move.
Yeah, correct. That was pretty good. I think that's like an 8.5. Drifting, you would get very high marks. Little debrief down here in pit lane for Nick Carroll. All-American team. He is teammates to Ben Grice. This is Owen Kelly on the restart. It was an untidy restart. That normally the race control likes to see them single file until they get that green is good and go point. Oh, 1, 2 already. He only needs to use 2 hands to count the cars in front now.
Yeah.
Oh, sideways. No problems. Tyre pressure's down just a little bit, but these cars generally do that anyway. So he's 10th. The leader is Nathan Hearn, but all of a sudden Owen Kelly's only 9 seconds away from the race lead. There's still 10 laps to go. Suggesting he's going to get there, but he can certainly make some more ground.
There'll be some drivers that have had their career best and season best finishes when the flag comes out today. So we head down the back straight. Sun continues to shine here at Queensland Raceway in round 5 of the Turtle Wax Trans Am Series. Kelly makes another move, this time on Jackson Rice, down at turn number 3. So he's now on the charge inside the top 10. You can use a lot of that track on the exit there. Those curbs were flattened out many, many years ago. Rice lines up on the back of Kelly. So he's clawing back these positions. Johnson, who's 2nd, is now 2.4 seconds away from our race leader, Nathan Hearn.
Yeah, Kostecki just didn't have the pace to go with car number 1. So interesting now to see if Jet Johnson has got any answer for our would-be championship leader, defending champion. Won it on the mountain last year and basically drove the championship winning car to the National Motor Racing Museum, where it sits to this day. All the Hoosier rubber still planted on its rear flanks. Really cool moment for young Nathan Hearn in his career. Molly?
Well, a couple of engine woes here in pit lane. We saw Craig Scatella come in. There's a low oil pressure warning light in that car, so not exactly sure what is causing that, but that's the end of the day for them. And similarly, Nick Carroll lost a drive belt, so like we saw with Nathan Hearn back in Sydney Motorsport Park. So that's the end of his day as well, unfortunately.
Go Jacks underneath the Hogan Prestige Cars entry, and they'll be back out to fight the 2 races remaining tomorrow here before we head to Sandown in the final round of the series. Krause touched on early in the race that we've got the Bathurst 100 coming up and a big field of cars looking ahead to Mount Panorama in November. 4 car scrap here, including Nash Morris, who's on the outside in a super cheap auto car. Mick Rao, former sprint car driver in the Pacific Petroleum car. And these guys down the field here a bit in 21st position. Of course, Morris went off in the first lap. Mayhem down there at turn 1. He's got Hollinger behind and Eden Thornborough for company in the Sydney Property Care entry.
And look at the damage to the front of the super cheap auto car. That's going to be affecting the balance for young Nash, son, of course, of Paul Morris, the winner of Bathurst Triple Crown, the 6, the 12 and the 1000. Nash continues to advance his career. Lots of miles this year. We've done lots of miles at this venue, as well as the famous Norwell Motorplex, located just down the highway on the Gold Coast. This is Trans Am racing, isn't it? Battles all the way up and down the field.
If memory serves me right, that's the same damage he had at Sydney, I think, in the first race of the weekend. He nursed around for the rest of the race. There's Hollinger in the all black with the big NASCAR number down the side. Makes the move there easy, and that's just going to be handling issues now. This is a case of just trying to stop the rot, isn't it, for Morris in the closing stage as it drops him down to 23rd position.
Yeah, these cars don't have, if any, aero at all. Very limited aero. The rear wing has an effect, but not masses of downforce, but it will still change the balance of the car, and it will naturally want to understeer with a change of airflow at the front there. So you're losing front grip, and you can see the car understeering at turn 2. Understeering is when it pushes wide and doesn't want to turn into the corner. This is Jack Sipp, Super F Spares Ford Mustang. Great to see Queenslander in the field this weekend cutting some laps. He's 20th. Oh, and off the road.
It's Mark Crutcher in the
17th.
Number 4 rejoins the track. He'll lose a couple of positions in the process. So a couple of rookies racing with each other down there. Heyman and, of course, Jack Sipp, who was scheduled to run with us at Sydney, but some issues in the lead-up to that event saw the car put on ice. Thought they'd wait to come here and run at Queensland. This will be the replay. Watch the yellow car on the right-hand side. Oh, did he get some assistance, or was he on it? I think he was on his own there and just got finished off, maybe. Hard to tell from that angle. And he was gone by the time we got to the middle of turn number 6.
I think it's a combination of going in too hot, having a slide, and then getting helped off the road. So column A, little column B. Speaking of that, we have had word from Motorsport Australia Race Control that the turn 1, lap 1 incident between Tim Brook and Owen Kelly will be investigated post-race. And it would be my expectation that rather than a time penalty for Tim Brook, it could be championship points on offer if indeed they do find him guilty of turning Owen Kelly around. Bearing in mind that he obviously was caught up in that incident and ended up on the road as well. So there was some self-penalising, but they'll look at that.
It's not what he wants to hear, though, is it? Points. I think you'd rather cop a time penalty.
Well, you would. Well, either way, you're going to lose points, aren't you, if you finish further down the field. But the big story, of course, is that Owen Kelly came into this leading the championship by 6 points over Nathan Hearn. 60 points for a race win in Turtle Wax Trans Am. Right now, that's 13 more than Owen Kelly's going to get. So a 6-point championship lead would turn into a 7-point deficit going into tomorrow. Owen Kelly's job now is to make that as small as possible. So his next target, Kyle Girton, and then Ben Grice. And Ben, right now, as always, involved in a battle with Kyle Girton.
Must have contacts with the director here.
So Girton has just got a position back. So Ben Grice will now be Owen Kelly's next target.
Kelly in 8th position. Hearn still leads. Great result here for Jet Johnson in the Napa Auto Parts, the academy that's come on board since the middle of the season. The next generation of Johnson moving up the ranks in Australian motorsport. Of course, the main straight here named after Dick Johnson was done after his final race back in 2000. Papa Grice looks on. Great to see him back at the racetracks as well, and enjoying seeing Ben really get his act together in the Trans Am Series. He's just exciting to watch.
Yeah, you never don't know what he's doing. It's 100%
and that's great.
Everywhere, absolutely. more like that, please. Exit turn 2, and we'll get a good run on Kyle Girton here. Let's see if there's any opportunity for movement. No, not quite close enough. Girton with good speed. He's up to 6th. Lockie Dalton running in 5th. Nothing's changed out in front, though. Johnson has pulled a couple of tenths out of Nathan Hearn, though you'd suggest the championship leader just in, well, the defending champion just in conservation mode now. Look after his tyres going into tomorrow's pair of races. Stop calling him the championship leader. He's not there yet. He's still got to do the job. He's got 5 laps to go. So we've seen one absolute legend of our sport. How about another? There's Dick Johnson, centre of screen, watching his grandson on. Jet doing a really nice job. Car 117.
Just get Gricey down there as well. Be a Legends bar up there, wouldn't it?
How good. I'm sure Tony Quinn's watching. Maybe that could be the name for the bar. There is a bar going in upstairs at the top of the tower, so it could be the Legends bar. Last lap, 1 to go. Turtle Wax Trans Am. And the Legends watching on. Their sons and or grandsons doing a nice job. Stephen Johnson, 1.9 seconds. Jet Johnson, 1.9 seconds behind Nathan Hearn. Stephen Johnson, his dad, running the spanners this weekend.
And on target for his best result. It's been 5th before for Jet Johnson. It's going to be 2nd if he can just hold on for a handful of turns. You can never, ever predict motor racing, can you? Nathan Hearn walked away from Sydney. He went into it leading. He left losing the series lead there. And today, the seas parted, as my commentary buddy said, for him right now. And he's on his way down to pick up his 7th victory and puts himself back into the series lead with 2 races tomorrow. Won last year's series. Moved to GRM this year. And an absolute class act. Pole position earlier today. And a green flag to checkered flag win to Nathan Hearn, his 7th victory of the season. Shout out to Jet Johnson, home for 2nd. And on debut, Brody Kostecki in the Boost Mobile Camaro will be home for 3rd position here in race number 1.
Great battles all the way through the field. John McCorkindale from outside the top 20 finishes 11th. Really good drive for the New South Welshman. Battles continue all the way through the field. Mark Crutcher we saw with the spin here at turn 6. Rail's gone very wide. This could be the closest ever finish for 22nd position on the road. It will be too. Look at this. How good. Oh, see, proof you should never, ever give up. Rail got there by 0.015 of a second. Oh, that's great. That's why we love Turtle Wax Trans Am. The battles don't stop all the way through the field. So Nathan Hearn, well done. Another win, the 7th of his season, and returns himself to the top of the standings. Jet Johnson with a best ever race finish for him in this series. Kostecki 3rd on debut, looking for a little bit more pace in the Boost Mobile Chevy. Brett Holdsworth in 4th, and Dalton next with Girton a solid 6th. Gricey slipped back to 7th in the end. Owen Kelly, what a recovery to 8th place. Good points.
Outside the top 20 when he returned to the track. McCorkindale, Tim Brook up to 12th. Then it was Simpson, Bircher, Harris, McAllister in 16th. Over the page to Mick Rowell and Crutcher, separated by 100th of a second. Hollinger, Morris, Wadley and Heyman of the cars that finish here today. Nick Carroll and Craig Scatella, our DNS. Congratulations, though. Nathan Hearn, pole position, race win, and we'll start from the pole for race number 2 tomorrow.
Kostecki, welcome and congratulations. You've got yourself a podium.
Yeah, it was pretty cool race. Obviously got a bit lucky there at the start there on the inside line. Yeah, the whole outside line sort of took each other out. So yeah, got pretty lucky with that. And yeah, we're sort of just following behind Nathan, trying to learn some stuff off him. And yeah, I think there was a bit of rear end fluid or something on the track, and he locked a front, and I just followed him straight through and let Jet by, and Jet did an awesome job. So congrats to him. I think it's his first podium in the Turtle Wax Series. So congrats to Jet and their whole family. But yeah, it's not a bad way to start. Hopefully we can jump a few more spots in the next few races.
Mate, well done.
Thank you.
So, Brody touched on that story. We're at Queensland Raceway, where the main straight is named after Dick Johnson. Steve Johnson is here working on this car, but it's Jet Johnson with a maiden podium in Turtle Wax Trans Am in front of all the family. How good is that?
Oh, that was unbelievable. I got pretty lucky there at turn 1, but once we got through that, I was able to keep my pace, and yeah, that was unreal.
I don't think I've seen celebrations like that for a 2nd place. Well done, Jet. Steve's there. I think I just saw a tear drip down the side of his face too. Nathan Hearn, though, if you don't mind, pole, race win, regains the title lead. How good is that?
Awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's a shame what happened to Owen. Whilst, we are title combatants, it's a shame to see your team car off of turn 1. So hopefully he didn't have too much damage and was able to recover a little bit. But yeah, look, it was good to get GRM number 1 back up the front, and for Valvoline and everyone to support us throughout the year. Sydney was a bit of a shocker for us, but yeah, we've come back strong, and hopefully continue on for the rest of the weekend.
First place, well done.
Cheers, thank you.